Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with a very special holiday no-knead pumpkin bread. You're going to be amazed at how easy this recipe is, and there's no trick photography here. Alright, you're going to take a bowl, you're going to put in a half a cup of plain pumpkin puree. Okay, not pumpkin filling. You're going to add a cup of warm water, a quarter teaspoon of yeast, dry instant yeast, a teaspoon and a quarter of salt, and just a tiny, tiny hundredth of a teaspoon of pumpkin spice. You don't want to taste that, you just want to smell it when the bread is baked. So just a tiny, tiny pinch of pumpkin pie spice. We're going to whisk that up. You're going to add 3 cups of flour, just regular all-purpose flour, and that is the dough. So this is a no-knead bread, meaning we're just going to mix it up like this with a spatula and then let it rise. So you got to mix this, and it's going to look really dry, and you're going to think, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But keep mixing with a spatula. You'll see it's going to go dry, and then all of a sudden it's going to all come together, and it's going to form this really beautiful sticky dough. So that's all you want right there. Now you're going to take a damp towel, tie it over a bowl, and just leave it sitting for 12 to 16 hours. And it's this long rising time that's going to develop the gluten. Oh, and by the way, I noticed our cat was in the background. This shot's for my mom. She loves cats. I mean, her nickname is Meow Meow. All right, take a sheet pan and generously cover it with cornmeal. We're going to unwrap our dough. We're going to put some flour on a board. There's your slow motion how to sprinkle flour shot, just in case you weren't clear. And you really need a lot of flour on the board, right? So make sure it's very generously sprinkled. This is just such a sticky dough. You're going to scrape this out of the bowl with a floured spatula. And because that gluten is so well developed, if you just keep scraping like that, it's all just going to kind of come right out nice and clean. See that? All right, now here we go. Pay attention. We're going to take our dough, we're going to sprinkle flour on the top. You're going to pat it down with your floured hands to flatten it out. And you don't want to press too hard. You're just trying to kind of get the air bubbles out. Then you're going to bring up both sides like that. Bring up the other 2 sides to form like a little package. All right, just turn it over and just form it into kind of a round loaf shape. All right, doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to carefully place it on our cornmealed pan and make sure it doesn't stick to your fingers. See, it stuck to mine a little bit. And just tuck the bottoms under a little bit to give it that loaf shape. Dust the top with a lot of flour and the sides a little bit. And then put a very dry towel. And I also dusted the towel a little bit with flour. I don't want this sticking. This is going to sit for an hour and a half. It's going to almost double in size. And check this out. Now that looks kind of flat, doesn't it? But look at the side view. This is such a beautiful feeling dough. It is so soft, so supple, so sensual that this is just such a joy to make this bread. Now preheat your oven to 425, and while it's preheating, take a really sharp knife and slash the top. Okay, don't use a dull knife because you'll have to press down and you'll deflate the dough, but a really sharp knife or razor, just slash the top about a ½ inch. We're going to place this in an oven that has a pan of water in it. So I put a little bread pan underneath that on that bottom rack with about 2 inches of water. And that's an old baking secret. A moist oven makes a really great crust. I'm going to cook it for a ½ hour at 425. After a ½ hour, I'm going to turn the pan around. I'm going to turn the pan around so it cooks evenly. Another 20 minutes, so it's going to go 50 minutes altogether. I'm going to take it out and let it cool on a rack. It's so amazingly beautiful. All right, let me slice into this. Listen to this. Does anything sound better than that? All right, so look at the inside of that bread. It is perfect. That's no knead. I gotta eat some of this. How can you listen to that and not make this bread? The pumpkin gives it an incredible color, a super subtle flavor. Don't think this is going to taste like pumpkin pie. This is just a great country bread, like a great French bread or a great Italian bread. If you've never baked bread before, I guarantee this is going to work. Perfect for your holiday tables, perfect if you got to bring something to a holiday party. You are going to be a star. Go to the site, all the ingredients are there. There's not many, there's like 5. Anyway, I really hope you give that a try. And as always, enjoy.